Okay, so quick recap. Last time, because the main story thing we did last time was right at the end. We mostly did cleanup stuff that I wanted to get out of the way. So I finished the Hunter's Lodge side quests by fighting Red Maw. The Sunhawk, I think is the name of the leader, died, and my sponsor took his place, which was good because he was kind of a jerk. Uh, I fought a bunch of machines outside of that. And I did some stuff at Sunfall. So Sunfall is the place where we were thrown into the Sun Rain, and we kind of met some people there. Did some one little side questy thing. But the main thing we did is we actually tracked down a guy, a Shadow Carja member, who had a bounty on him, a pretty high bounty apparently by the set out by the High Priest Bahavis, and we basically recruited him to come back to Meridian. And then when we went back to Sunfall, we ended up helping, or not Sunfall. I don't think we went to Sunfall after that. I mean, I did, but we also we also helped the prince of the Karja prince defect to the Sun Karja kingdom because he was being held by the Shadow Karja under Bahavis. Bahavis is dead, so the turncoat guy basically killed him. So other than that, like I said, we fought a lot of machines. I think I fought like 4 Thunderjaws, 2 Stormbirds, and 1 ground Rockbreaker, I think they're called. And then I made my way up the bitter climb to where we are right now, which is Gaia Prime, and that's where we are going to head in and see what we find here. So let's see what happens.
Genetic identity confirmed. Entry authorized. Greetings, Dr. Sobeck. You are clear to proceed.
All right. I actually have a pretty thin memory on this, even though I played through this twice. Okay. We must go down, so therefore we go the way we're not supposed to go because RPG. Am I right? Oh, thank you. I don't have to read it.
Logging arrivals. Shan Margot.
Welcome to Frozen Hell. Population 10.
11 counting Gaia.
Don't count your chicken embryos before they're incubated, hon. She's still firing up. Be a while before you eat that omelet.
I'm vegan, Travis. You'd think we'd worked in the same secret base long enough for you to notice.
We weren't scheduled to shack up here for another 3 weeks. You realize I just lost 350 kilos of pre-code smut comics in transit.
Wait, actual physical media? Why didn't you have it digitized?
Can't beat the feel of physical media on your fingers. And in here, we ain't gonna be touching a whole lot else. Figured I was gonna pass the time archiving them. What about you?
Me? Work, I guess. My task queue stretches out for like 3 years. There's a lot of sharp edges to round off. After that, I hadn't really thought about it.
Oh, you will. You're what, 30? Reckon you'll be the one turning the lights off at the end. Food for thought, huh, vegan?
This sucks forever.
Nah, not forever. Just the rest of your life.
So Travis was the one who was heading the Hades project. I don't know if we know. Was it Margot? Is that the name? I don't know if we know the other one. Hey, Corey. Yeah, you're basically the only person. You're basically the only reason I'm streaming right now because I wasn't sure if I was even going to. I'm not sure where Sacred has been, and I'm guessing Firebear went to bed. So you might just be the few of us tonight.
Mind your footing.
Yeah, I see that. Whoop. I meant to do that. That was on purpose. Definitely on purpose. He literally says mind your footing and I jump off the edge. Ooh. Feeling a bit crumbly in here. It could be Catherine from Soma. I'm not sure. Alright. This place is kind of a mess. I do believe there is a power cell here. Up somewhere around here. I don't actually need it though, so I'm just gonna move ahead. The power cells.
Guess that's my way across.
The power cells give access to what's called the Ancient Armory. It's the place I believe we fell into when we were younger, and it's on my...
Don't think, Aloy. Just do it.
I know.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, come on, fine. Woo! Jeebus. Oh, no. Left, to the left.
It's, held like this for 19 years, right?
Well...
Don't answer.
Yeah, don't answer. We don't want to know the answer to that. Alright?
Glad that's over.
Okay, I forgot what I was saying there. Probably for the better. Okay. I thought I was going to go to my death there again. Or almost death, I guess. I haven't died yet. The night's still young, right? Oh, I was talking about the armory. So there's an ancient armory in the underground bunker you fall into when you're a child, and to get access to the armory, you need to get a bunch of power cells, basically, and solve a bunch of little puzzles.
Must have been where they lived. What's left of it? Once this was all enclosed by rock and metal.
So if we need a little bit of context here as to what this place is, this is where Gaia would have been stored, I believe, the kind of central core of Gaia. Because I'm assuming Gaia kind of would have spanned over the network. But the Gaia Prime, as they call it, because this is where Gaia was located. But I think this is also where the survivors would have been before they died. Basically, they were basically here to live out the rest of their lives. Margot Shin.
Record. I just woke up. I see the numbers, but can't make out the time. I was dreaming of... I was giving a lecture in Q Hall. Maybe it was something more shamanistic. I don't know. An audience of shadowy faces under a blank open sky. I told them the world ended with a bang. A plague of robots. The last humans. We went out, not with a whimper, but a whisper. You know, in caves, ending like we started, huddled around a flickering glow. The heads of state, the Fortune 5s, the leaders, and lottery winners, and life cults, all of them buried in their little shelters. Some believing they'll live it out some way, somehow, or Elysium, or us here at Gaia Prime, no different. A multitude of tiny societies taking hold, flaring, dying. Some will be beautiful, some horrific, and none of them matter. Short-term civilizations. One last gasp before the long-held breath. Before I wake up, I know the audience is gone. I'm talking to myself, to a quiet planet, a barren sphere. Just Gaia and her long, long dreaming. I hope she won't be lonely.
You know, that's something to think about. Gaia is an artificial intelligence, something that can think and act of its own accord, even though it's a machine. You know, we brought up this topic with other games, and we'll bring it up more with other games in the future if I end up streaming everything I have on my list. You know, that's a lonely existence, to just be there yourself for, you know, as long as machines keep running. So the reason I don't care about the Ancient Armory quest is because I'm already wearing it. So if I go into the light here, you can see the little blue spots on my suit. And some of the pieces of my suit are actually from that armory. There's basically one of the suits, the bioprotective suits they used to wear. Kind of like a mobile hazmat suit, something that's probably meant for a little bit more mobility. Basically, Aloy attached them all to one of her outfits, and kind of made a combination of like old and modern world tech. Which was kind of weird because it's kind of like the old new tech situation. Just in reverse. Hey, Firebird. Firebird, have you talked to Sacred at all lately? I just realized that he has not been on Discord for like a long while.
Evacuation happened so fast. No time to think things through. No time for goodbyes. There were lines in the medical ward. I told Tom Paik I'd be with him when he went under. But there was one last shipment of Paradiseidae zygotes I could get processed if I rushed. I'm still angry at him for forcing me to choose. Angry at myself for... Well, he died alone. And I didn't get the bloody birds of paradise saved either. All the time left in the world now to think. Gaia Prime's logs are sealed. Elysium sealed up, safe and sound. A distance of miles, but it might as well be on the other side of the galaxy. All the betas and gammas and support staff living their lives. If I hadn't been an alpha, if things had gone differently, I could have been there. Instead, I'm spending the rest of my unnatural life in here with people I don't even like. And without the one I would have gladly spent my life with. Given the chance. 2 hours since I signed off on the final executables, and I'm already a bitter old man bitching to his focus. There's a thought for future generations.
I don't remember what Ronson's project was, but it sounds like he was the one spearheading the Noah's Ark version of this project. Because he was talking about Birds of Paradise and such. Yeah, I saw him. He was on yesterday morning, but I haven't heard from him since, and that's usually not like him. He usually says something if he's not going to be on. I'm being like my mom right now. My mom worries when I don't like text her every day. You know, people that don't talk on a regular basis, like I know it's not expected, but am I going the right way? I think I am. Yeah.
Elisabet's room. I know it. She didn't even get a chance to unpack. These are her journals. Elisabet's journals. And they're all destroyed?
Scan them. The Focus can rebuild them, but the process is slow. To us, it seems a powerful device, but it's...
Let's check it. I think they're all under repair.
Engine is tiny and limited.
How slow?
Days, weeks, years. Concern yourself with stopping Hades and extending the future, and you might live long enough to hear them.
Okay. I do believe they take some time. Let's see. Going in... What, climbing up here? Yeah, okay.
Elisabet. What is this?
A shrine to her memory? Just flowers. Or some facsimile of that.
This is Charles Ronson. I'm logging this 6 hours after final deployment of Gaia Prime. This morning, an access port seal malfunctioned. Gaia Prime's port seals were designed to close with a seam of less than 2 millimeters. But this one closed with a 10 millimeter gap. Enough for an energy signature to bleed through. Enough for the swarm to detect this facility. Enough for Gaia to be discovered and destroyed. Enough to end the future we worked so hard to make possible. Unless the hatch servos were manually re-engaged from the outside. I'm now switching to a recording of the event.
Well, I'm not going out there. Not what I signed up for.
Either we sent someone out, or all of this was for nothing.
It should be Liz's decision. So when is she going to get here?
She said 5 minutes. You don't think...
Oh no. Okay, everyone. I've repaired the seal. Gaia?
Seal closure at 1.4 millimeters. Confirmed.
Elisabet, no. We'll find a way to bring you back in.
It's not gonna happen. The swarm's too close. Really. It's alright. Gaia's complete. She'll take care of things from here on out. That's what she does.
Not like this. There's so much we...
Guys, you know me. I'm no good at endings. At letting things end, so, let's not.
So, happy trails, Liz. And, see you around.
Yeah. Take care of each other, all right?
Liz.
I'm okay with this. I want to go home. Goodbye.
That was the last transmission of Elisabet Sobeck. She gave everything for the hope of life on this planet. And we are all in her debt.
Aloy?
She's gone. Really gone.
You knew she couldn't have survived, Aloy. And her achievements were beyond exceptional.
While her people bickered, she was the one who took responsibility. The only one who could.
She was better than them.
That's not what I said.
She was. You shouldn't be afraid to admit it.
Can't you just for one moment stop calculating and let yourself feel? She sacrificed herself for her friends, for the future, for life on Earth. Doesn't that stir anything in you? The generosity of it.
You're trying to invest her decision with something magical. It was a rational choice, not based on sentimentality.
You're wrong. Remember, she knew it wasn't enough for Gaia to think. She taught Gaia to feel. To care, to sacrifice, to believe in life. Enough to fight against hopelessness. If it wasn't for that sentimentality, life would have ended. You and I would never have existed.
Your argument is sound. I'm sorry for your loss.
She said she wanted to go home. Maybe.
What?
Nothing. It's time to go on.
Silence. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff here to probably listen to. I'm not sure, Corey. I'm not sure if I want to stream next. I have thoughts, but I'd kind of like to hear what others think first before I decide. It's probably going to take me a couple streams to do the DLC for this, so I still got some time to think on it. But I was thinking, since this is a longer game, maybe do something shorter first, and then kind of rotate back and forth. But I was debating whether I wanted to move down the list in the polls, or if I wanted to kind of choose something that I was really interested in playing more immediately. So I'm kind of going back and forth on that idea.
You'd hate it, Liz, but I wrote you a eulogy. I had to try to express all your children. After all Apollo has taught them, they'll think they know everything. But they have to understand what you did for them. How you loved the whole world so much. With an intensity that was dazzling. Bruising. And in the end, it killed you. Or you died for it. Different perspectives. No one could keep up with you, live up to you. I don't know, maybe if I hadn't taken that postdoc in Joburg. I'm glad you shot down the Lightkeeper protocol in the end. I don't think I could have taken seeing another one of you. I mean, Elisabet Sobeck. There's only one. I miss you.
Look, Liz, you're a pretty stand-up gal. I'm sorry you died. If you had a home to go to, I hope you got there first. But this monument Ronson's made to you? Kinda creepy if you ask me. Rest in peace, Liz. God knows you earned it.
Travis is one of those people I can see him being really annoying, but I can also see getting along with him really well. Ugh.
Hell, Liz. I know you're never gonna hear this. That's not the point. You got to play the savior and the martyr all at once this time. Great work.
Pharaoh. Let's see what else is in here before we take off.
Hello, Margot. How are you holding up?
Dr. Ronson, I've been getting a lot of messages, unsolicited messages from Ted.
Margot, I'm sorry. With Liz gone, we've got no one to run interference with him. I'll talk to Ted. He mostly wants updates, constant updates, hundreds of updates on things he knows nothing about. Liz used to field all of his crap.
He doesn't understand the systems at all. That was kind of by design. But he's getting pretty sketchy with me.
We just have to keep him happy. Liz always said, keep him happy.
Are you kidding? You ever hear how she talked to him?
She was managing him, Margot.
I mean, maybe I should ignore him. He's buried in his pyramid with the Hola Hola girls and Panta Antimod cuckoos. What can he do?
Yeah, I think Ted's the one you want to be concerned with. So to kind of extend on that, Corey, the next two games on the list were Heavy Rain and Prey, which I don't think are bad choices going forward. But there's some other ones that I think might be fun too. The one that I think has been mostly burning on me that I've been really wanting to play has been Dishonored, honestly. Thief as well, but I wanted to save Thief for a time where I could coordinate with Beth on that one, because I know she's the main person that wants to see it other than me. And I thought that might be a good summer game, like early summer break or something. Dishonored is by far the big one I wanna play otherwise. Yeah, I'm a big Dishonored fan. In fact, the only tattoo I've ever really highly considered getting was the Mark of the Outsider. Ooh. Almost missed you.
What are we gonna plug into their heads, Liz? A whole lot of history? A whole lot of so-called truth? A whole lot of noise? It's not pablum, Liz. It's poison.
I go back and forth between 2 and its DLC being my favorite. I actually like 2 better than 1 though. I liked playing as Emily. And I also really liked playing as I don't know if I should say names if that's gonna spoil things. I also liked playing the DLC for that Death of the Outsider. That was really, really cool. But I really liked playing as Emily. I suppose that's not really a spoiler at this point. The game's been over ages.
There's another section at the back of the crater. Looks like it survived the blast.
Because it was armored, you found the control room.
I'm on my way.
Yeah, honestly, I think the first 2 games are so different in a lot of ways that's kind of a nice change between them. It's going to take a while to get through them. That's why I'm thinking now might actually be the time to start them. Because you got 2 main games plus a lot of DLC. It's almost like having like 3 to 4 games. Let's see, can I go up here? I can.
been taking a hard look at the project. In the end, it's simple. It's clean. It's clear. Erasure. Addition. By. Subtraction. I can make it better, Liz. With a single stroke. Make it all go away.
I really don't like the direction this is going.
Continue.
Oh, there it is. Did you play Death of the Outsider, Beth? Because he's actually in that. The voice actor that plays Dowd is quite amazing. I've seen him in a few movies too, because I think he was in Kill Bill 2 and The Hateful Eight. Probably others I know too, but... You don't play as him in 2, but... Or in the DLC for 2, The Death of the Outsider, but... He is in it.
What?
Yeah. I was waiting for this part.
When I opened the hatch, the air rushed in from this side.
Because there was none inside the chamber.
Yeah.
The Alphas were in there.
Mm-hmm. Somebody locked them in. And cut off their air supply.
I'm locked out of core control. Alpha clearance overridden. What the hell is Omega clearance?
Oh no.
Alpha personnel. Sorry to alarm you, but I need you to listen, okay? To what I'm about to say. This isn't easy. See, please, stop trying to access the system, okay? See, what this is about is, I said stop trying to access the goddamn system. What I'm trying to say is I can't stop thinking about the ones who come after us. Those innocents. Those blameless men and women. We're gonna give them knowledge? Like it's a gift?
Ted. We've talked about this before. Apollo has 3,000 plus fail-safe conditions.
It's not a gift, it's a disease. They're the cure, and we're gonna give them the disease. Our disease? No, we can't. And it's not too late. If we're willing to sacrifice.
It doesn't need to be like this.
It already is, Samina. I did it 3 minutes ago. I've purged Apollo. It's gone. All of it. Every copy.
A sacrifice? It's not a sacrifice. It's cultural obliteration, you crazy bastard. Millennia of culture.
I'm sorry. Really, I am. But sometimes, to protect innocence, innocents have to die.
Emergency alert. Venting atmosphere.
Jerry didn't frickin' hate Ted Farrow enough.
He killed them all.
So this is why. This is why we were trapped in benighted ignorance for an innocent future. Blameless men. He never saw the slaughter in the Sun Ring. Everything these people achieved, all the knowledge of the old ones, evaporated, turned to dust, scattered to the void, like the Alphas themselves.
No. Not a void. When the hatch unsealed and scattered their ashes on the wind, it took them out among the world they made. The world we're living in. a monument to what they died trying to accomplish.
A monument to oblivion.
Not oblivion, silence. Hope.
Claim the Master Override.
The Master Override. It's so small.
Now all you have to do is kill Hades with it.
You know what that means? So I do believe we can get back pretty quick.
That didn't sound good.
Try not to fall to your death. The Master Override doesn't override gravity.
It does not. Quickest way back up. I think this is where you can actually get the... I think it's up there, somewhere. That might be over that way. If anybody is interested in the ancient armory. Like I said, I don't care since I already have the armor. I want to say there's like 4 or 5 power cells or something like that. I think I've gotten a few of them. One of them I very specifically just ignored because I didn't feel like looking for it. And the other ones I forgot. Okay. So, you know, Ted Farrow's the one responsible for what happened to the world to begin with, and now we find out he's responsible for what's happened to us on top of that. Like, what a piece of crap person.
You're here.
For a moment.
What?
Our journey together has come to an end, Aloy. But before I go, I think I owe it to you to tell you the rest of the story.
Go on.
Some time ago, I admitted that I'd been involved with the eclipse. But I never told you the full extent of my culpability. The truth is, I was there at the beginning. I found Hades, Aloy, buried on that mountain, trapped in that shattered titan. And I served it.
What?
It promised knowledge and delivered. Such knowledge, you have no idea.
And in exchange?
I helped create the eclipse. Helped it build a cult, an army to do its will.
Why are you telling me this now?
Because your success depends on knowing this. When I found Hades, the first thing it wanted to know about was the Spire. Not Meridian. The Spire. Now why would that be?
The Spire was created by Gaia.
Which part of Gaia?
Minerva. Its code-breaking module. Gaia built spires to transmit the codes that deactivated the Pharaoh robots, shut down their biomatter conversion systems. Hades wants to send a new transmission. To wake the machines, so they can devour the world all over again.
Yes. Based on what we've learned, that's my conclusion as well.
So the Eclipse... the robots they've resurrected... they're just a means to an end. An army to capture the Spire.
Yes. So Hades can exterminate life all over again. Unless you stop it.
And that's what Hades' whole function was. The thing that I question on top of that is Hades an artificial intelligence, or is it literally just a machine executing a function at this point? Because that's what it feels more like. It feels like it's just executing its job that it was programmed to do.
I want you to tell me everything. Hades, the Eclipse, everything.
It's a long story, Aloy.
Then get started.
It began with a focus, recovered from an ancient ruin, as yours was so many years ago. In my case, the device was heavily damaged. There was just a flicker of life in it. I spent weeks studying it, attempting repairs, Until finally, I succeeded. A whole new dimension of perception revealed right before my eyes. That's when I detected it. A faint signal. Out there, something was searching, just like I was.
A real kindred spirit.
I followed the signal to its source. A shattered titan, buried in the jungles of the Jewel.
So you thought it was a titan? An old war machine?
I didn't know what to think. I'd seen such wreckage before. The Grave Horde, for example. But this was different. This was not quite dead. It couldn't speak when I found it, until my repairs gave it a voice. So began an exchange of knowledge. It wanted to know everything about our world, its tribes and machines. But the Spire was always its foremost concern.
What did it want to know about the Spire?
Its precise location, the surrounding geography, who controlled the land. Meanwhile, Hades revealed to me many of the intricacies of ancient technology. It bid me to recover and repair more focuses. Before long, I had a couple dozen up and running.
Enough to equip a small army.
The commanders of one, anyway. I didn't care. I was learning so much. Physics, calculus. You have no idea.
Sorry. Sorry.
And the Shadow Karja? How did they become involved?
The Karja Civil War was a happy coincidence. A perfect opportunity.
An opportunity? That's what it was to you?
Yes. Overnight, half the tribe was in exile, desperate to win back Holy Meridian. Their religion made them easy to manipulate. All I had to do was present Hades as the buried shadow of their mythology. So yes, it was an opportunity. I arranged for High Priest Bahavas to meet with Hades. Helis was there as well. And so the eclipse was born. Anything to win back Holy Meridian.
But Hades didn't care about Meridian. And neither did you.
We live in a world of fallen cities and vanished tribes. What were a few more? Besides, I was too busy setting up the cult's focus network to Hades' specifications. A thrilling technical challenge, especially with the alterations I included of my own design.
The ability for you to spy on them.
Yes. I may have been foolish enough to serve Hades, but I was never so foolish that I trusted it. I installed what the ancients used to call a back door in the network. Secret access, empowering me to monitor all activity and communications.
What made you turn on Hades? It certainly wasn't your conscience.
Actually, I was troubled the first time I saw the Eclipse raise an ancient war robot. With my technology. I questioned Hades about its intentions.
A little late.
Indeed. I'd already outlived my usefulness. When I completed work on the Focus Network, Hades summoned me to receive my reward. The next moment, I heard it broadcast my kill order. I've been a fugitive ever since.
That's an interesting take.
So when did I come into this? Our path together?
When Olin stumbled on you. System threat detected. That got my attention. A kill order against a savage Nora girl? Why would Hades bother with that? But then I saw that this Nora girl was wearing a focus, and bore an uncanny resemblance to a great scientist of the old world. Helis moved quickly. I thought you were dead. But then I detected your focus inside the Nora mountain. The more I observed you, the more convinced I became of your extraordinary nature and usefulness. Through you, I could finally discover the secrets of the Earth. I vowed to do everything I could to ensure your success. The rest, as they used to say, is history.
Must be nice.
You've done terrible things, Silence. But you've also done what you could to undo them. I can't say you've balanced the scale, but at least you've tried.
To be clear, Aloy, I would do it all again. A few more safeguards, perhaps. But basically the same.
Really? So much for learning from mistakes.
I've done all I can. From here on out, the rest is up to you. Take my lance. Fit the master override to it, and you have a means of injection.
Then I just need to get close enough to Hades' skull to stab it in?
Exactly.
Oh, no problem. Silence! Where will you go?
Elsewhere. And everywhere. There's so much more to discover before the world ends.
And all this?
I leave it to you, of course. As it turned out, it was yours all along. I was merely trespassing.
All right.
They're coming.
Preparations are complete.
Ah, loosen the Bahamas. Behold, as I promised you.
What manner of great machine is this? I've never seen such a thing. Stay! Stay your ground, Carja in shadow!
Incorrect. Bow before the buried shadow.
The buried shadow? I don't understand.
Did Ahriman understand the glint hawk that perched upon the alight?
It speaks scripture.
Ahriman followed the shadow cast from the Spire.
To the mesa where Holy Meridian was founded.
You will follow the shadow once more.
I am a righteous man, chosen of the sun. But in times of need, the powers of shadow can accomplish what the sun alone cannot. Will you return to us what is ours, O shadow of prophecy?
An army is required. Obey, and Meridian is yours.
Of our obedience you can be certain.
Task is complete.
Yes. The focus network is active, built to your specifications. Check it yourself if you must. I'll wait. But I remind you of the reward you've been withholding. Quantum processing?
Data has been compiled. Volume too great for transfer.
How inconvenient for me.
Come before me. You shall receive your reward.
Very well.
Helis. Threat detected inside Eclipse.
Speak its name, O Shadow, and it will die.
You will eliminate this one. Silence.
Silence. Yes. A truth whispered at night is seen in the day. He was never one of us. It will be done.
I love his voice.
I traveled far to find you. I heard your transmission. It was you, wasn't it?
Entity is not known.
I'm called Silence, and you are. I don't think you'd have called out if it wasn't something you wanted. You called, I responded. Will you tell me your name?
Hades.
You are a creation of the ancients. A war machine?
Define timeline.
Time? Ah. 13th king of the Karja Sanctum's reign.
Define Karja.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. Were you created by the ancients? I wonder how long you waited here, buried, until I chanced upon you. How long you'd have to wait for another. You're obviously very powerful, but you're not going to get anywhere without me.
Titan Flame merely houses intellect. Define Karja.
Now that's more like it.
So, the question I have there, because like I don't remember if this is explained, how did he get into the Horus unit? Because I don't think Hades is supposed to be in the Horus unit. Maybe that'll come to light, and I'm just not remembering. This is why I talked about a spoiler. How my Spire was a spoiler. Because I had Silence's Lance the entire game already. Because of doing New Game Plus. I said the Lance I had wasn't mine. And not to read the information about it. Yay, we just picked up the same thing I've been carrying around the entire game. Alright.
I have to tell Avad that the Eclipse are ready to strike.
Yeah.
After what happened with Derval, I know he'll defend the city. But the Spire...
So, can I, like, jump down that? Something tells me no. Oh crap, do I have to go through all those machines again just to get out of here? Ooh, there we go. Okay. Sobeck Journal, 11/1964, R. Okay, just wrapped inspection of GAIA Prime site. Construction is well underway, reactor installed. Plans for control room remind me of starship bridges on those cheesy old sci-fi vids. Living spaces for alphas already completed, prefab modules. Fingers crossed we never have to seal ourselves in here. Not that Elysium sounds much better. Spent last week at the Bryce site designing Zero Dawn project labs, drawing up protocols. The base we're repurposing was huge. Plenty of room for workspaces and residence blocks. The work crew's already set up my office lab. I'm not a fan of the glass wall. Guess Murray's intention was to ensconce me as all-seeing presence. Ugh. Opposite effect. Makes me feel watched on display, tempted to paint it over. Harris recorded his presentation yesterday, suitably bleak. Scheduled to record mine Friday. Harris was the one who led the military side of this, if we're thinking back. As soon as reception, lounge, hollow theaters, and first residence block at Zero Dawn site are finished, we'll start processing the candidates being held outside Tucson, sorry. Tucson. I mispronounced that one. 27 already. Extraction. Wait, are we actually giving away some location data there? Are we actually in Tucson? Extraction teams prioritizing Pac Rim and Aussie candidates. How scared and confused they must be. Snatched off the street, carted across the world, held in cells. Here's hoping they understand once they see the big picture. Going to catch a few hours sleep here, then fly back to Zero Dawn site. Hera's promised delivery of QB Latises by noon. I don't know what QB stands for. Expect Mark 1 will take 2 weeks to machine, assemble, and test. I aim to launch Gaia at 0.6T grounding. From there, I'll spin her up past 1.0T. Wonder how long it'll take to break the 1.38T record. MIE can go hang. Sleep. What, are you making fun of my accent? What did I say? Come on. Look, let's not pick on me here, okay? I believe that that's not an improper way of saying that, if I'm not mistaken. I've heard it pronounced 2 ways.
Snow. It's not getting any warmer out here.
Yeah, I'm not sure which is correct. I just know I've heard it both ways. Did the frickin' bird stay dead this time? Well, lichen is the proper way of saying that. That one I do know. It's kind of, actually it made me think of how I say lettuce, because I don't usually call it lettuce anymore. I always want to call it lutece now. Kind of like the Lutece twins. I guess technically not twins, but if you know what I'm referring to. I don't want to say anything because that's a major spoiler. I guess it's not spoiler because you know them at the get-go, but... So I'll say like the devil's lutece. Hey, Michael. He's popped in for the perfect moment there. Okay, there's gotta be a quick way down, right? Let's explore, and hopefully I don't fall to my death. Something tells me that's not the right way. There's gotta be a ledge. There's always a ledge. I sure will get down quick if I take that route. I think I just gotta climb down, honestly. Yeah, that's definitely the quick way down. Okay, where's the ledge? I don't know where the ledge... Oh, I almost slipped. I don't know where the ledge is. You know what, let's just hope for the best. This is a Jesus take the wheel moment.
So much for being careful.
Uh-oh. No. Look, I'm not fighting you. You can't make me. You can't make me. No, just chill out. I took you all out, didn't I? Wait, no, maybe I snuck by these ones. That was another game I was actually thinking might be fun to play, is Fallout 4. You saw nothing. I did not exist. I'm a figment. They're definitely coming to kill me.
Now I know what they're guarding.
Oh! Oh, he got stuck. Never mind. Alright. Ooh! Oh! Oh! No, no, no. No, 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 no. What? Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. It's definitely Jesus, take the wheel moment. Distract. Saw nothing, you saw nothing. Oh, cliff, left, cliff. Okay. And getting down is sure a lot easier than getting up. Uh-oh. Could there have been an easier way down? I feel like they had to...
Right. But I can get through this.
Can I get out of this? Uh-oh. I may have done something I can't get out of. Oh no, this is not good. Well, you know, as I said earlier. Ooh. Okay. Look, I'm alive. That's what counts, right? I call it my mount just to get it obliterated there too. Alright, we're good. We're all good. Nothing to worry about here. How did you... You know what? Skyrim logic. Skyrim logic, alright? You know, not that way. Alright. Before we walk in there, we're going to stop at the campfire here. And I'm going to take my break. Because this is probably going to lead to... this. I'm pretty sure this is the end game. Alright, so... we're going to head in to Meridian. And...
I work hard every day. Sleep like a rock every night.
see where we go from here towards the end. Obviously, there's going to be something coming up, final battle-ish, so... Did any of the messages pop up on here? The stuff that we're trying to fix, the corrupted files? They pop up on screen if they get fixed. So I would have missed that if it popped up. I don't know if anybody happened to notice. You would hear it too, but you might not really think about it. We'll check them out later. Worst case scenario. Like I'm just like leisurely jogging.
Watch out for the puzzle.
See, I still wonder about the Horus units, because like I said, we've seen the Horus units. We know that Hades is in one. We never see it walking around. I'm like, maybe they can't walk. You know, maybe that's the whole point. It sounded like they moved, though. I assume those giant cables are like legs or something. Could be wrong, though.
Sure as the sun's rising, he's off. Don't mind the work. Better than worrying about my next one. Aloy, what brings you to Meridian?
A threat. The Eclipse will attack soon, from the west, with an army of ancient war machines. But that's not the worst of it. They'll bring a mind with them, god, demon, machine, whatever you want to call it. It's called Hades. And it doesn't want Meridian at all. It wants the Spire. And if it gets there, it will send out a call, waking more ancient machines, more than we could ever defeat. All will be lost. We can't let that happen.
I'm trying to understand, but my responsibility lies with Meridian.
Meridian isn't the target, Avad. You have to defend the Spire.
Perhaps the Vanguard, Your Radiance.
Yes. Send them to the Spire. Eren knows Aloy. He won't question it.
And have the city guard fortify the western ridge. There they can be seen to protect Meridian and the Elite, where the Spire rests.
Aloy, allow me to apologize for my behavior before. After everything that happened with Ursa, I was confused. If we're to fight together on the brink of life and death, I'd prefer to do so with your forgiveness.
Then you have it. As long as you don't confuse me with her again.
Even a king can learn his lesson. Good then. I'm glad that's behind us. Now, it will take time to prepare our defenses. Please, tell me what you know of our enemies. Everything.
I don't know about everything, but I'll tell you what I can.
Okay. I assume that's
Have you
Gary
spoken
Colton.
to Blameless Murad?
Not yet, but I will.
He wishes to speak to you. Defensive preparations are his responsibility.
Okay. That's like, 'cause obviously we don't need to hear that, we just experienced it all.
Quietly does it. Panic in the city will only create another enemy. And do keep me appraised of each new arrival. Ah, Aloy. Preparations are underway on the ridge defenses and at the Spire. Word was sent to every corner of the Sundom. Our allies offered their steel. Some came for Meridian, others for shards. But many came for you, by name.
Mm-hmm.
For me.
Don't be so humble.
That's why it's important that you do some of the side quests, because you will know some of the people that come.
The ridge will be the front line. That's where the city guard are holding?
Yes, bolstered by some of the irregulars I spoke of before. The Oseram cannons that thundered Meridian's walls in the Liberation will now defend us. You're welcome to tour the defenses.
Which I believe we're going to help with that, too. I think we do both. I think we do the ridge first, then the Spire.
And the Spire. Erend and the Vanguard are there?
Indeed. Clashing breastplates together and testing out their battle cries, I suppose. A number of the Nora have also arrived at the Spire. They have resisted the offer of a royal audience. Perhaps you could parley with them.
I will. I suppose all we can do is wait for the attack.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's not a feeling I cherish, but our spotters at Evening Sign report there's still no movement in the west. So, if there's more you need to do elsewhere, seize this time to do it. Otherwise, I've made the apartment of Olin Delverson available to you. You can sleep there, if sleep comes.
Okay. So review prep. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go see who's there. Oh, there's one. Okay, let's see. Okay, Sobeck Journal, 7/16/65. Last time I visited Prime was November of last year. Months since have been a blur. Flew out last night to oversee installation of the central armature in Master Override. You're welcome, Ted. Which was complete. You can just read that in her voice. Which was completed by 0430. 0430. Sorry. So I decided to grab a few hours of sleep here before heading back to Zero Dawn. Called GAIA before I bedded down, ostensibly to update her on the site plan. But the truth is, I missed her. I've developed a habit of speaking to her before I sleep. Seems to be the only thing that calms me most of these days. That's not just fun, that's straight up truth in a lot of ways. Woke to a message from Oswald. The Odyssey launched yesterday. I believe the Odyssey is the ship carrying the other Nozark stuff from Apollo. So terrestrial life's chance of survival has doubled. Why, then, do I feel so uneasy? I just keep wondering what kind of world Far Zenith will create if the ship reaches its destination so many decades from now. And I worry about that alpha build of Apollo. So much knowledge, so few restraints, and no fail-safes. How will they avoid repeating our mistakes? What's to stop them from playing God? Good question. Forwarding the Odyssey message to the Alphas, Neoto replied in less than a minute with a poem, of course. The Building of the Ship by Longfellow, and it's long, all right. I didn't read all of it, but it seems to be about launching a ship rather than building one. The stanza, or couplet, or whatever, leapt out at me. Humanity, with all its fears, with all its hopes of future years, is hanging breathless on thy fate. Yeah, Odyssey and Zero Dawn both. Speaking of which, I should get back to Zero Dawn. Guess I should stop by Naoto's lab and check on the Demeter's progress too? Demeters? I don't know if that must be one of the other projects that... I'm still not familiar with all the projects. Keep on saying, Michael. It's always welcome here. Demeter, I guess, would probably be how I'd pronounce that. If I can get out of there without a volume of Tennyson pressed into my hands, I'll count myself lucky. Till next time. Okay, so did I miss any? No. So the other several are still under repair. I already know what thumbnail I'm going to use for this video too, because I have one I specifically thought would be fitting.
A moment of your time, Outlander?
No, stop trying to sell me crap. Actually, that one's trying to give me a fetch quest, which is even worse at this time.
Won't find better regret not stopping when you're in the thick of it. Buy what you need, leave the rest.
Into Meridian, we're doomed.
But you don't like when I say Latisse. Don't you dare give me crap for Zebra. I'll fight you over that one. Or Sona. Especially the finished word. Because I am finished. People always look at me weird when I say Zebra.
This heat could burn the rust off metal.
So the bridge, I believe, is just right at the bottom, and then the Spire. We haven't been to the Spire. I don't even know if we've been by it. Okay. The bridge is over here.
Check out these wares. Won't find better wares.
Well, you know, Michael, I'm already on that boat right now, so and it's not going to stop anytime soon, especially with tonight being a long night. You know, people keep complaining about daylight savings. I'm like, what is that? That sounds like a rock breaker.
Did you just polish that armor, Uzit?
Of course.
So people keep talking about daylight savings time like it's the worst thing ever. I'm like, I see another hour of my life, like just coming into existence.
You look very
I see
dignified.
the chance to either sleep in or to drink
and
more.
shiny. Very shiny.
Aloy, I told you I'd be here.
You did, Teb. But have your wounds even had time to heal?
Honestly, if I fought, I'd probably come undone. But don't worry, I'll leave that to the other Nora at the Spire. I brought supplies instead. These Karja have made me an honorary quartermaster, whatever that means.
It sounds impressive.
I could get used to it.
We'll be setting up caches of arms and medicine under these banners. Look for them when the fighting starts. Aloy, when you went into the mountain, did the goddess tell you our chances?
She didn't need to. I know we can do this, Teb.
Maybe we can.
The Asaram have gone too far this time. Dervahl should die for his crimes.
Did we change?
Girl applied to the city guardian.
Another one? Yeah, I see. Because I thought I had 2 of them. See, do we really need to change the clocks, or do we just leave them there and hope they don't throw us off? I mean, I know my vehicle one I'm not going to touch, so if it doesn't automatically adjust itself. You know, these new vehicles, though, they're a little different, but if it doesn't shift the time, I'm just leaving it. I always do. Then I panic every once in a while when I look at the time. I suppose the stove top and the microwave and all that I probably should do, just for the sake of my sanity. All right, so Halloween, or do we say Halloween? I don't. You guys gonna nitpick my accent anymore? I'm surprised that hasn't come up sooner. By the way, my Yipper accent on top of my other random crap that just comes out of my mouth. Travis came by trick or treating. Wow, really? This is what you do in the apocalypse. Very nice, very nice, much approved. Dressed up like me. Should have seen that coming. I gave him half-eaten packet of dandy wafers as a treat and kicked him out. But not before he invited me to some kind of Italian horror extravaganza. I bet they're going to bring up Deep Red or Suspiria, and I'm going to die happy if they do. He organized for Zero Dawn staff. Seriously, as though there isn't enough horror in the world already. I like the fact that he comes around trick-or-treating and she just buys into it like she just didn't create a new monster out of this. Anyway, I was already scheduled to fly out here to Gaia Prime for final inspections with Helis and the President's delegation. Ted was here too. He was not looking good. Kept fidgeting and couldn't seem to look me in the face without blinking. I was relieved when he boarded his vert and flew back to Thebes? Thebes? Gag. Okay, even she doesn't like saying the name. I don't know. What? Thebes? Okay, I'm gonna let that one go. Though I guess I shouldn't complain. If he wants to build himself a deluxe shelter to ride out the apocalypse, let him. Keep him out of Elysium and away from me. Oh, what did I say the second time? Thebes? That just made me think of something. No, you know, I'm just don't let my mind go there. Don't let my mind go there. Sorry. Is that a name? I'm assuming, or is that something else? I keep thinking of like Phoebes, like Phoebe, but Hera stuck around long enough to give me a detailed briefing on the strategic situation. Basically, we've entered the terminal phase, as though the color of the sky when I was flying over here wasn't clue enough. Another 2 or 3 weeks and the atmosphere won't be breathable. The last vestiges of European and West African Civ brigades are trapped with their backs against the Atlantic. The swarm that scuttled across Antarctica is crossing the Straits of Magellan, about to start its death crawl up South America towards the Amazon. Wait, how's that work? Could they actually do that? Like, that's a long distance to cover, isn't it? If I'm remembering correctly? Oh, it's literally a place? Gotcha, okay. Apparently it's been a while since I've read my mythology. Now I'm trying to think how that plans out. Like, the Southern Ocean is quite big. Anyways, all the work we did to reconstitute the rainforest, and it comes to this. And advanced elements of the Pacific swarms are already skirmishing with units on the Kalmar seawall. I don't know that one. Kalmar? Probably Kalmar. The noose is tightening. Projections show we can still finish in time, but the margin of error is plus or minus 10 days. Not a good spread. No, it's not. If the plague breaks through ahead of schedule, well, it just can't. I will not let that happen. Enough writing. I need to get back to Zero Dawn. Okay. Okay. All right.
Amazing.
Who else is here? Do I know these people? I do! That's Vanasha. Oh, and our samurai buddy. Yeah.
Little Huntress, you called, so here I am.
Ready to fight?
Fight? I thought you just wanted tea and conversation. Is there a battle coming? I wasn't informed.
Well, that can't be true. You're always informed.
Ah, so I am.
I like
We've only
Vanasha.
met a few times, and yet you know me so well.
I don't think I know you at all. But I'd like to.
When I hear that line, it usually means something else. Can I tell you a secret?
Of course.
I've been waiting for this fight my whole life. The enemy we face today is the same that turned Meridian into a slave pit and Sunfall into a bloodbath. Fanatics who torture and murder mothers, fathers, families, children, and say it's the will of the sun. I hate them, Aloy. I've got the scars of their whips on my back to prove it. And today, we can get rid of them once and for all. I said I came for you, but that was only half the truth. I came for them. This time, they're not getting away.
I'm with you, Vanasha. We'll fight them together.
And I won't forget it, little Huntress. Tomorrow, may the sun rise in a better world.
I've seen under some of that outfit, too. She's ripped. We talked to...
Aloy?
At ease, Uthid. Meridian will be glad to have you on its side. And I am too.
The honor is mine. You saved my epitaph from being a fine soldier, but a fool of a man.
I'm hoping you won't need any kind of epitaph just yet.
As the sun wills. When you found me, I was trying to eke out a glorious death. But now, a glorious life seems more preferable. To watch Edelman play in the low gardens again. Still surrounded by a dozen guards, but... what you did, Aloy, it was done well. Although, I can't shake this road, Vanasha. She delights in goading me. Like brazen colors waved before a behemoth.
Do you want me to ask her to stop?
No. I accept it. Well then. Meridian shall stand and shadow shall fall. I swear it.
Here's to that, Uthid.
Okay, I do believe we have some more here. We have Petra over there. I want to quickly see if there's anybody else here.
Isn't that him? From the Battle of the Dawn?
Aren't we all, though?
Cinnabar Sands was before that.
Ah,
Who survived
Nils.
Well,
This is
I
why...
don't like to boast. Oh, sun, keep the shadow from falling upon me.
This is why I didn't want to fight Nil.
Nil?
Aloy. They told me your name. I said hair like a splash of blood, tenacious as a scrapper's jaws. I've thought about what you said. Every time, the wound you gave me caught on my ribs.
But I didn't wound you.
Not by metal. Still, I forgive. A duel is such a fleeting joy. If one of us had ended the other, we'd have missed all this. The weight before blood is shed. Like the scrape of a blade across your teeth.
Nil, you're making it difficult to be glad to see you. But you're needed. The battle will be hard.
Hard? I was assured the odds would be near impossible.
And you signed up anyway?
Impossible odds, fine company, killing without consequence. How could I resist?
That is literally his bread and butter. Those damn frickin' machine dummies. That is the thing that kept me from like my platinum trophy for years without me even knowing it. My friend's like, "Oh, you have almost all the trophies in Horizon Zero Dawn. Which one are you missing?" And I look at it, and it's like literally knock down the dummies in the Nora lands. And I was like, "Wow, that's what I was missing. That's the one thing I didn't do." Of all the stuff I did in that game, this game. Yeah, I like the dummies. I don't want to knock them over. Petra!
Here she is, the guest of honor. I knew there was something about you. Hammered from the stuff they make leaders out of. And I don't say that to every Nora girl who blows through my town.
That happens to you a lot?
Had to build a wall to fend them off.
Good thing I'm persistent then.
I've missed our little talks. Murad asked me to look over the city arsenal. These guns have aged well. That runs in the Osram, no? They were the pride of the Mainspring Forges, so I've taken greater pride in improving them.
Can I try one?
Everybody wants a turn. Have at it then. The target should put up a little less of a fight than those bandit raiders did.
Okay, what am I gonna do? Do I actually need to do it? No.
How many men do you think you'll kill in the battle, Ethan?
As many as I have to.
I love it when you say things like that. It's so...
What?
Cheerful.
Elita, I'm pleased to see you, but what are you doing here?
I'm helping prepare for the battle. If Atral were here, we would have fought together. I know it. So I'm doing everything I can. Digging battlements, collecting herbs. Anything that makes a difference. I can't take his place. Nothing can take his place. But I'm here for him. For both of us.
I understand what it was he saw in you.
He'll always be with me. Sun and shadow still meet for a moment. Every dawn and dusk. I should give you this. To help in the battle. By the sun, I hope you don't need it.
Thank you, Elita. Be safe.
It was a sad story, the two of them. Further brought on by the whole heavy topic of suicide. I think that was it for people over here. So let's go check out the Spire.
If I got my hands on Derval, there wouldn't be anything left of him for the office.
We didn't ever talk to Derval. I don't know if we can still talk to him. No, I've never actually been over here in this playthrough yet, so... I think we've come over here, but we never climbed up there. Now, the one thing I don't think that has been explained yet, that I'm thinking back on, that I haven't brought up today, has been the derangement. I don't know if they ever really explained that, if that was just the virus that caused that. I think that was implied, right? I know you.
You're the hunter from the Banuk Grove.
I remember you also, Nora. The machines shook free of their slumber after you arrived. Raged and fought.
Well, that wasn't my fault.
No, I'm thanking you. That night, I decided I would not go back to Banur. I would take my hunt into these lands. So many machines, even demons. Spidery, skittering, without the blue light in them. Dead things that must be killed again.
Our enemies dug up an army of them.
An army? Yes, that's why I came. Good. I'll wait.
That's literally the way the Banuk dress in the middle of winter. I still can't get over that. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. So that's Meridian from a distance now. The Spire is the giant metal thing that's coming out of this mountain. It's quite pretty, if you ask me.
Talana, why are you here?
I'm your hawk. Where else would I be?
Defending Meridian with Avad?
I leave that to the rest of the Lodge. I will not stand aside while one of mine fights alone. Not again.
Are you sure you...
You're risking your life for all of us. You can't ask me to stand by and watch. Not when I have the power to change it.
Then I won't ask you.
It's settled. I will fight by your side. My only request...
Name it.
Leave the biggest machine for me.
No promises.
I like Talana. But the biggest mystery in the game for me was really the, what caused everything, really. Not just the stuff we learned here, but the whole, like, once you realize the world has been destroyed and terraformed, that was really cool to find out. That was just mind-blowing to me. I was like, that is a brilliant, brilliant story idea. But their resolution was not to save things, it was to build something that could bring it back to life later. You know, imperfect, of course, because, you know, how do you bring back what we are? You just can't. But, you know, really cool nonetheless. Okay, lots of spots up here to investigate. See who's all up here.
It rises taller than the highest tree.
These cards are in their frilled armor look like...
War Chief Sona. War Chief, you seem uncomfortable.
The Nora do not belong here. I do not belong here. I will fight the metal devil that threatens us all, but my place is in the sacred land. The wrongness here jags at me like an arrowhead.
I'm sorry to put you through this.
Do not be sorry. This will be ended. My spear, my word.
Can I talk to... Oh, those are just guides, never mind. Nobody of significance to me. See who we got over here. Looks like Varl. Do I know the others?
Greetings, Aloy. Don't. You don't need to bow. The Anointed doesn't like it.
She doesn't much like being called Anointed, either. It means a lot to have you here, Varl.
I gave my word.
So, Meridian, what do you think?
I've seen many new things since I first met you. I should thank you.
Varl, what's wrong?
You really want to know? All right. I'm in a foreign land, a tainted land, defending a faithless city that looks like nothing I've seen. From something I can't imagine. And you, after all that's happened, all you've done, I feel like I should drop to my knees and worship you, but I know you don't want that.
Boy, things are pretty tough for you, huh? Thanks for telling the other Nora not to bow. It's the last thing I need.
Don't be too hard on them. They only joined this fight because the Anointed bid it so.
Is that why you came?
No. I would have come just to see you one more time. And we must fight a metal devil, because the goddess says. Or because you say.
I think the goddess and I are in agreement. We're both glad you're here.
So am I.
The goddess being Gaia. Literally a machine is telling them to do this. artificial intelligence,
So who are
but
these guys?
still a
They
machine.
call themselves the Eclipse.
What does that even mean?
Aloy. So here we are again, gearing up for a fight. Only this time it sounds like the bad guys have a lot more firepower. What are we up against, really?
I'm not sure. But there's gonna be a lot of them, and they'll have machines. And if they get past us, it's not just Meridian that will fall. The rest of the world will go with it.
That's big. It sounds like our kind of fight. Right, guys? Well, where do they put the Vanguard?
At the front of the line!
And why?
Steel before iron!
And what are we gonna do?
Hit them like a hammer till they can't hit back!
Damn right!
Mutton chops.
You hear that?
Sorry.
Nobody's getting past the Vanguard. We're here for Meridian. And we're here for you.
Thank you, Erend. Ursa would be proud.
Well, only if we win.
Beth started it. Wait, can I slide down that? I can't slide up. That wouldn't make sense, would it? Rest before the final battle. Sorry. Journal. Look, an actual journal this time. Okay. Such a close thing. It's been, what, 43 hours since Hera's Warnby said collapse of the eastern line was imminent. Swarms launching some kind of pincer maneuver versus the Wichita salient, if I'm saying that correct. 5 or 6 days more, and I think Gaia would have launched without our help. I really do. We have to scramble. Zero Dawn became a madhouse. Absolute bedlam, every team rushing to stabilize code and lock it down as Gammas got evacuated, then, Betas. Once Gaia was on her way, I gathered the Alphas together to give them the bad news. Felt like I was going to throw up. But they already knew, of course. They knew the work wasn't really finished. Close, but not quite there. Still tests to run, kinks to smooth. Ooh, kinks. Work to do. They said, God, I can't read. So they accepted it. No Elysium for us. We'll spend the rest of our lives here, testing and polishing each subordinate function to perfection. What are you polishing? Jeez. Alright. Ignore me. Guess that's what you get when you recruit a bunch of obsessive perfectionists. Managed not to cry until I got back to my office. Wichita. Sorry, I just saw that. I've not seen that movie in a long time. The Princess Bride. So here we are, setting up Gaia Prime, and yeah, such a close thing. Makes me feel nauseated all over again when I contemplated how the fate of life should hinge on coincidence. If I'd never proposed the Lightkeeper protocol, there never would have been living space constructed here. If I'd abandoned the protocol sooner, the necessary life support systems never would have been installed. If. At least we won't have to endure the creepiness of raising and training clones of ourselves. The genetic material was never processed out of the cradle sites, so it's not even possible, for which I'm glad. I really wouldn't want to spend time around a young Travis Tate raised by Travis Tate. That would be horrendous. Could you imagine that? No, it'll be up to us to perfect Gaia. One generation only. Update. That was General Harris. The salient has collapsed. USRC expects to be overrun in 2 days, which gives us 72 hours at best to lock down and seal up. Buried alive, for life's sake. I'll tell the others. Okay. How many do I have left? Under repair. We still have quite a few, it looks like.
Itchy.
Okay. I don't know if I'm just looking at those recordings wrong this way. Alright, let's see. A quick way down. We'll just take a leisurely stroll on over. Unless I can find a spot to jump, but... That's a long way down. Yep. I don't think I know who that is. Travis Scott? I don't know if I know that name. Travis Tate's just a little different. I don't know that he's caused problems other than just being different. The biggest complaints I got of him was like inappropriate content, and I don't mean of like the Title IX variety. I mean like just inappropriate content that he keeps, and loud music is what it mostly sounded like. I don't think I missed anybody there. I'll take you for a little ride. Yeah, let's head back. There is one other thing in the game I haven't done at all, which is you can go back to where Ross was buried and talk to him at his grave. If you guys are interested in seeing that, we could do a quick fast travel to see it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go ahead to the next section. You know what? Whatever.
Time to get off this thing.
Oh, get stuck on the machine. Okay, we're good. City's even pretty at night.
Buy what you need, leave the rest. Fine goods for a fair price.
Practicality is a new concept to them.
Meridian.
Pass up these goods.
Couldn't imagine living
Fine
anywhere
goods
else.
for a fair...
So, I'll get over to the apartment, and then, or house, whatever it is. It's Olin's old place. I'm gonna try to save it before I do that. And then I'm gonna take a quick break again, and we're gonna push forward to the end. So I believe this is the last submission officially. As far as I can remember. I like the music. No, bring back the music.
The soldiers do their jobs.
I absolutely love White Day, Michael. It's one of my favorite games. And it does remind me of that now that you've said that. It does sound like the janitor indeed running down the hallway after you with his keys jingling. That's what made the second janitor so much more difficult, because like he'd whistle when he wasn't looking for you, but when he was looking for you, he was just so quiet, you didn't even know he was on top of you.
Olin's apartment feels empty. Should I sleep? Did I leave anything unfinished?
White Day is so freaking amazing. That game, getting that platinum trophy on White Day was freaking ridiculous. You had to complete every ending in the game on every difficulty. It took me so long to get through that. It took me like half a semester of just grinding through that to get those. Alright, so I'm gonna take my quick break and we will get into this. And we will sleep, basically. So I'll be right back. Alright, this is it. We're pushing to the credits, I think. Rest before the battle. Yes, we're done. We're gonna do this.
could you sleep, Elisabet, with a weight like this pressing on you? How did you rest after you lost your family? Silence? Are you there? Guess I shouldn't ask ghosts for advice.
Ma'am, there are signs from the west. Sun King Avad awaits you at the Temple of the Sun.
Okay. Where'd it go? The Face of Extinction. Oh, that's such a perfect title.
Campfires, perhaps? Massing forces for the long march to the city gates?
That's not wood smoke.
Then what is it?
The end. Or how it begins, anyway.
There's the old war machines. En masse. En masse.
The Deathbringers you spoke of?
To the guns! To the guns!
Yeah. Deathbringers, corruptors.
Now!
By the sun, do as she says!
Set loaded! All of you, be ready to fire!
Will the guns hold them back?
We're about to find out.
Oh, I forgot about Helis. I forgot all about Helis.
Helis!
No! Rally the Vanguard. Send reinforcements.
Aloy, no!
We need those guns!
He will cut you down!
Not this time!
I got this.
You have vexed me long enough.
Should have fought me in a sun ring then.
Fight.
Grab.
The end is inevitable.
Oh, that's him, isn't it?
Accept it. Accept your weakness.
Come on. I did hit him. Can I use this?
The endless night awaits you.
If the Deathbringers keep firing, this bridge will go.
Meridian must run red to be cleansed.
Watch I use those against him. Let's see.
It's giving way!
What are you before the terror of the sun?
The one who will take you down!
Crap.
Can't let him in close.
I am chosen. You came from nothing.
You will die on nothing! A savage cannot understand destiny!
I chose it. This was not meant to be.
None of this was meant to be, Helis. You made it happen. Followed your orders, butchered so many, and for what? To die on your knees, used like a pawn by a power you don't even understand?
You... pity me?
Yes.
Turn your face to the sun.
Oof. For some reason, I remember that being a lot harder. He does take quite a few hits, though.
Got too much already.
Yeah, I know. Who cares? We're good. Let's get out of here. Okay. Deathbringers. We need those Astron cannons.
Meridian! Hold the line!
Where do you need me?
Take up a
Can I go down? No, I can't. Alright, let's try my best.
Gotta drop it and move!
Crap.
It's taking a shot at me!
Yeah, I know. Dang, it seems like you have a lot of hits on these things.
Good hit.
The others. I'm not seeing any. Oh. Oh, hi, apparently. So, this way. More death frames.
Time to go.
Oh, crap, let's go.
Gotta get to another platform.
Oh, too late. How far back are you gonna set me? Okay, so back to this part. Alright.
Here it comes. Better move. Don't want to be here when that hits.
South! They're coming from the south!
Here it comes. Better move.
Wait. What's coming? Oh crap.
But be wary!
Chance to catch a breath. And prepare.
What? I don't have any much, or do I? Okay. Sorry about that in chat. Alright.
Raise arms again! West!
Thank you, Miko. Wait, more? Oh shit. Oh shit. Yep, there's more.
That'll help.
Crap. Run. Oh, no. You don't need to be next to me. Gotcha. Can I get the other one before?
Fire incoming!
Ah, that did it. Uh-oh. Come on, before the Deathbringer gets to me. A little short. Crap. My worst enemy.
It's down.
Did I get him? Probably not. Oh crap, here they come, the big ones.
Gotta get to another platform.
Gotta get that corruptor down. Come on. Where are you? Alright. I'm going. Come on, big guy. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, no. No, bad. Oh, no. No. Crap. Come on, get up. Aloy!
It's taking a shot at me!
Yeah, I know that. Where'd the Stormbird go? Literally right over me. Pick it up the fucking gun. Pardon my French. Let's try this for now. Down. Thank you, Micah. Okay, come on. Before anything else shows up.
Don't want to be here when that hits.
No, we don't. Oh, God. They aren't stopping. We need to get to that pillar.
Incoming! Ah!
We gotta get to that pillar before this gets worse. Okay. Now come on, Hades, what made you think that was a good idea to travel that way? You think they'd use like a shell walker or something, right?
Aloy!
It's literally being dragged by a Deathbringer.
By all mother, you survived. I thought you were killed.
The others, are they...
No. Wounded, but alive, mostly. The machines blasted through, then kept going. They marched on the Spire, dragging that thing with them.
Take care of the others, Teb. I've gotta go.
Okay. This time I will move. This is bad. Oh.
Gotta press on.
Okay. Anything in here? Health items would be appreciated.
This is where I belong, Aloy. Where the Spire calls for you.
Who is that?
Aloy, go! We'll draw them.
Okay,
Now
you know
you
what?
face them.
Don't ask, just go. We have one job to do. Gotta stick the spear into Hades. Sorry, big guy. Maybe next time.
Gonna need this.
Yeah.
My strength is not yet spent. I earned it by ice and snow. I will answer your challenge.
It's begun. Hades is transmitting.
Why am I wearing my old outfit? That must be a cinematic thing. We got a true cutscene. Shit. Yeah, we gotta get our butts up there right now. Like right now. The machines are gonna go vicious. So what it's doing is it's awakening all the old world machines, the ones that weren't created by Gaia. And now they're going to start dissolving everything living in their path. Yeah, that's what we don't want. Because remember, the old machines...
If Hades has started the signal, it must have gotten through the defenses.
Yeah.
Nora. Aaron's vanguard. I have to get up there.
Should I climb? Yeah. So remember, it's the biomass conversion units that is what wiped out the planet already. Come on, up. Aloy, up. Aloy, come on. Thank you. This is not the time for faulty controls. Oh my god, what are you doing, Aloy? Oi. Okay, we're good. We're good. It's all good.
Gotta keep going. Keep
I
pushing.
legitimately fell there.
Knew this wouldn't be easy. So no holding back.
Okay, we want to go up or around? Probably up. The bridge is broken.
Aloy!
They're alive.
It's Aloy! Well, you can see that.
We thought you'd fallen at the ridge.
No, the ridge fell on me. Look, there isn't a lot of time left. I have to face Hades.
Not alone.
It's my fight. I can't ask you to come with me.
We were about to go over the top anyway, right?
Right.
Hawk and Thrush, let's go.
I should
Yeah, honestly, we
stock
can use their help.
up. Last chance.
No, we're doing it. We're doing this. Come on, up.
Arrival of Entity has been anticipated. Entity will not halt transmission. To contrary, the calculations are precise. Presence of Entity has been accounted for.
Uh-oh. Oh shit, that's good. A corrupted Deathbringer. Well, I got some of these I can pummel it with.
Get ready.
Oh, we're tying, crap. Crap. Can I make more of those? I cannot. Okay, I got another plant. Come on, just walk into it. You know what? A little bit more distance wouldn't hurt. Guy.
With the time I've got left, I can do this.
Never seen so many machines.
Take them out
Oh
first.
crap. Are you kidding me? Actually, I got an idea. If I can get the cannon off that big guy. Come on, big guy. What? can all be friends here, right? Maybe not. Oh, yeah, I saw that coming. Yeah, that's where the ultra hard's gonna come through. I had a feeling there was gonna be a get you a bit beat up there. Alright.
Watch it, Aloy! More machines!
Don't let them overrun us!
Okay. Oh, the game loves me. You see that? The game really loves me. Come on, big guy. Let's do this.
We're running out of time.
I need that gun. Does he still have his gun on? Let's get up. You lose your gun.
Prioritize entity.
Corrupted going for you!
Thanks for the warning!
Corruptor, where?
We've taken out the corrupted!
That one was the last!
Put this in there. Buddy.
Time enough to beat the machines back.
Brought more of the corrupted, Aloy!
All of you, focus on the new machines!
Are you kidding me? Oh, frick. That's not good. Uh-oh. How am I supposed to get through this? What else I got on me? Yeah. Merciless machines. Are you gonna make me start at the beginning of that? Those things again. So I had a Ravager last time is what started it.
Watch it. They keep coming. Knock them back.
Okay. They're giving me a second chance.
Don't let them overrun us!
That means there's a corruptor here this time. You know what? Cripple you, hey? They coming? Crap. Gotcha.
Now only the metal beast remains!
Okay. Ooh, crap. That's when I gotta get him. Come on, big guy.
My way's clear.
Finish it, Aloy! Finish it now!
I got it.
System threat imminent.
I'm more than a threat.
Alright. Purge the frickin' thing.
Master Override armed. To activate, state name and rank.
Elisabet Sobeck. Alpha Prime.
Master Override activated. Purging Extinction Protocol.
And down they go. Yeah, some quick thinking was required in that. If I had to reset all that, that probably wouldn't have happened so quickly. It's a cool final battle, but I still wish we could have seen the horse units active. At least one. Who knows? Maybe that's a Forbidden West thing, but. Because literally just the head of the horse unit is what it looked like, a part of it.
Okay, Gaia. Sorry about that. Where was I?
You were telling a story.
Right. Yeah, so, like I was saying, it was a children's electronics kit, but I'd hacked the wiring to an auto battery and solar PV. So the grass caught fire. And, so did a tall pine that had stood there, I don't know, maybe 100 years.
Query. You were how old?
6. My mother was home, thank God, so she called the fire department, and after, she took me out to the lawn and showed me the dead baby birds, because there were nests in the pine tree.
Query. What did you feel?
I'm not sure. I remember yelling that I didn't care, and that's when my mother took my face in her hands and spoke.
Query. What did she say?
She said I had to care. She said, Elisabet, being smart will count for nothing if you don't make the world better. You have to use your smarts to count for something. To serve life, not death.
You often tell stories of your mother, but you are childless.
I never had time. Guess it was for the best.
If you had had a child, Elisabet, what would you have wished for him or her?
I guess I would have wanted her to be curious. And willful, unstoppable, even. But with enough compassion to heal the world. Just a little bit. Anyway, that's all I've got for now, Gaia. Time to tuck in.
I wish you a pleasant sleep, Elisabet.
Thank you. I'll catch you tomorrow.
To answer your question, Corey, this is the first game in the series, Horizon Zero Dawn, and the sequel is called Horizon Forbidden West. I've not played Forbidden West yet. In fact, I just got it like a week or two ago. I was waiting for the PS5. The only thing I know about it is that you play as Aloy, but which I think we all kind of assumed. I didn't read anything about the game really when it came out. I think I was a little bit out of tune with it. And I don't know what it's even about. They've mentioned Forbidden West in this game, but thing about this game that I really liked was the science behind it. There's so much cool science. Stuff I did not see coming. Yeah, I'll stream it, but I'm probably gonna... Usually I like to play the games first myself so I can get a feel for it, experience it, all that. I've never done a blind playthrough, to be honest. Yeah, and I worry about doing blind playthroughs. So I'll kind of do some of my closing stuff on this because the volume on this isn't too bad right now. I don't know if it's going to get bad, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to play Forbidden West quite yet, though. I think I'm going to do there's other games I have on my radar right now that are more important to me as far as new games. But I will get to it eventually. I have a lot of horror games I want to dig into right now. So, I said one of the biggest compelling parts of this game for me was knowing what happened to mankind and knowing why we ended up the way we did. And you're probably always thinking apocalyptic event that led to us being the way we are in these tribes, but the tribes know nothing about the old world in a lot of ways, and that's the part that was really compelling. And then when we started finding out about what led to this, we started finding out that there's no way they could have survived. The ancient ones, or old ones as they call it. And so essentially, my biggest question was what did happen, because it didn't look like they could have survived what was happening, and we find out in this game they didn't. No one survived. That's what Zero Dawn was. It was a solution, albeit not a solution to get them through it. It is a solution for what happens afterwards, after the apocalypse. And what we learned along the way is what they did is that they have the military acting as a divergence to slow down the machines, essentially, making people think they're fighting for what comes after when they're actually sending them to their death. While Elisabet sets up the Zero Dawn project, recruiting people with, that are pretty much top-notch in their field in order to set up something to come after. And one of the main things that I found really compelling was that the machines that we've been dealing with in this game, if you ignore the Pharaoh machines, which are like the Corruptors, the Deathbringers, the Horus units that we've been seeing, we ignoring those, all the machines that we've been seeing are actually made by this artificial intelligence, and they were made for the purpose of terraforming, to make the planet livable again. Because what happened is that the Pharaoh machines wiped out humanity, essentially, and everything else on the planet. They destroyed everything and left absolutely nothing behind, and then they just went into hibernation. Which I thought was just mind-blowing. I was like, I did not see that coming. And so Zero Dawn's purpose was to terraform the planet and build the world anew with whatever specimens they could find that they had left. So, people and wildlife and what have you, which explains why you don't see a lot of varied wildlife in the game, because they couldn't save everything. And one of the big things that I always thought of was, the idea of Noah's Ark doesn't work because it ignores all of the stuff that you need to survive as an individual, which is the microbes that wouldn't survive this. And of course, you can't grow a person inside of a chamber. Now, they're a little bit more technologically advanced. They might have come up with something, but you need a womb to carry a child. You need a system for them to develop in properly. They don't survive outside of that. That's why the stories like Jurassic Park hits a dead end in its science, where it becomes pseudoscience. Is that we can bring things back from extinction, but you need something viable to carry it. You need something to serve as the parent, to get it into this world so we can take care of it from there. And so that's there's some science in there, of course, that they could have worked out by this point, but that, there's certain things in there that, we're kind of making some leaps here that they've gotten to a point where they can make that work. And I don't know that I see us ever getting to that point, but there's so many important things that happen where, like, when people talk about, like, test tube babies, I'm like, that's not a thing. We can't do that. Like, believe me, if we could, somebody would have figured that out and, published the research by now. You just can't do that with people because we've done the alternative with people. And so the Zero Dawn's purpose was, like I said, to terraform, to bring information into the future, to give people a second chance in a different life that doesn't involve us. And then the people that devised it were basically led to live out their lives until they died, and that was the last of humanity. Because we read the reports. The Earth was destroyed while they were in these facilities. The Earth was no longer. They couldn't go outside without those suits on that Elisabet was wearing where we found her. Because now we can see where she died. She went back to her home, which is where Aloy was when she found her body. And so here, the question, the derangement of the machines becoming aggressive, new machines coming out, that stuff. I think what we found previously was that was Hades essentially. I think doing that to an extent. For some reason, I don't know if it was actually fully explained, and that's the part that I had the question about, is what activated Hades? What made Hades become active? Hades, as far as the Zero Dawn project goes, is meant to say if Gaia doesn't do this properly, we need to reset everything and start over again. And so Hades' purpose is to destroy everything. It's to basically is to wipe everything out and then give Gaia back the control after everything's been destroyed. So right now, Hades was just performing its function it was meant to do. So I'm not really convinced that Hades was an artificial intelligence. I think to me it seems like it was literally just performing a function. It's only an artificial intelligence as far as it's programmed to be, as far as what we can see here. Maybe the next game will actually expand upon that. I don't know. But as far as what I'm seeing, it could just be a machine performing a function like it was designed to do. Gaia was the true artificial intelligence. And the DLC may touch us on that a little bit more too. I think I can't remember exactly how it plays out, so that's why we'll do the DLC. But there's some unanswered questions in there, like why did Hades trigger? And it's like, Hades triggered when Gaia triggered at some point. Gaia detected it. It was trying to stop Hades. Hades picked up on it, and Gaia's method of stopping Hades was to basically destroy itself, so Gaia is no longer, and we were just at Gaia Prime. And Gaia's response to kind of fix the problem of Hades being active was to make a clone of Elisabet, which is Aloy. And we've learned this all before, but then we go to Gaia Prime here, and we find out that the reason, or not the reason. I don't actually. The reason we went to Gaia Prime was to essentially learn more, of course, but to get the means to stop Hades and to start Gaia back over again. And, we kind of learned that Ted had caused some issues here, leading to, the death of everybody that was left at that facility. And I kind of wonder if Ted wasn't somewhat responsible for Hades becoming active. I don't know if that was spelled out in there in a way that I didn't see it. That was always my assumption, that Ted was involved with that somehow. So he destroyed everything that was left of humanity so that humanity couldn't recreate what it was, and basically wanted to leave everybody to die. Killed all of his people. So I kind of assume that something when he was doing there probably set this all in motion. We know that Hades had sent a virus into Gaia. That's what was causing a lot of the issues. And like I said, probably the derangement, if I remember. I don't know if that came up in document, but there's some stuff in there that to me is unanswered to me, and it might just be that I overlooked it, or it might be that's coming up. It's going to come up in the new game. It might be that it was left open on purpose. I don't honestly remember, but those are just some of my thoughts on it. I don't know if any of that was essentially fully answered. Sorry, getting tired. So that's essentially what we did here. We went to Gaia Prime and we basically trying to learn more about what happened to the, at that location. It was obviously very much destroyed. But we're basically looking for the shutdown on Hades, and I think the Spire's purpose had to do with codes. The codes that they used to originally shut down the machines. So what Hades was trying to do was reactivate all the old war machines to have them basically destroy everything, and probably, assuming it's not acting in its own accord, it's not, if it is a true artificial intelligence, what it probably would do then is, who knows, not hand it back to Gaia, because Gaia's going to restart things. I don't know. Its job is to hand it back to Gaia after that, but Gaia's gone now, so what's it going to do at that point? Like I said, right now it just seems like something that's executing a function. Now, I do believe there is an after scene here that we're going to want to see, just in case this relates into the next game, but I think it's worth seeing. With Silence, I think is something we don't want to overlook here. So, in true fashion, I'm going to let these credits play out whether I stop talking or not, because I think that's definitely important to see. That's kind of what we did there as far as going up to that place, and then we had to basically wait for Hades to make its move on the Spire, because the Spire is where it's going to send that signal. And so they didn't know that for sure. They're just drawing a natural conclusion from... They're just drawing a conclusion from what they know. That the Spire was there for that one purpose. Hades wants to destroy everything. That's the best way to do it, most efficient way to do it. Because once those war machines wake up, there's not much you can do about it once they start doing their thing. The main thing they were designed to do was for war, and they designed them to use biomass as fuel. That was the issue that led to the apocalypse, is that they were destroying everything faster than, and creating more of themselves faster than people could target them, and just consuming everything in the process. No worries, Michael. Thanks for joining us. It's always great to have you here. And so now that we've reversed that code, we've destroyed Hades, or destroyed the shell it was in at least. That should solve a lot of the major issues. Like, we saw that the war machines are shut down now, fortunately. Yeah, I should get my trophy after this. I have 2 trophies I was banking on here, so I should get the last 2 I'm missing, which are the New Game Plus ones. So hopefully those go through. I haven't seen them pop up yet, but they probably come up after the credits, though, if I remember. I'll be furious if I don't see those pop up. Because I'm like, that's a lot we just did for that. And so kind of what we did here then, beyond getting that, is basically what we had to do is wait for Hades to make its move, try to fend it off as best as we could, defend the city, defend Meridian, and defend this, and catch it at the Spire. And so that's where that kind of left us. We stopped it, but where does it go from here, I guess? So, I'm going to kind of let this play out. I'm going to step out for a second, kind of let this go, do its thing. But I'll let it play till because I think there's one more scene with Silence before it closes out. And then next time what we'll do is we'll play the Frozen Wilds, basically, and I'll see how far we can get in that.
old friend? Remember me? We've still so much to discuss. So much you never revealed. Your masters, for example. The ones who sent the signal that woke you. Knowledge has its rewards, don't you think? Well, let's begin.
Okay, so that last scene there with Silence, I had forgotten the dialogue in there. I knew that Hades wasn't fully destroyed, but he actually pointed out there what I was asking. I said the thing that I wasn't really sure about is what brought Hades into the picture here. Like I said, I was thinking Ted Farrow might have been partly to blame for that, or directly to blame for that. But now the way he was saying that kind of makes me not sure. You know, so Silence expected this to happen. You know, he knew this was going to happen. So I imagine that when he shoved the spear, or when Aloy shoved the spear in there, he had probably expected, or had something devised. That was his spear, obviously. He's done this before. He revealed it to us. He's done it. He's manipulated Hades. That's how he was able to, you know, figure out what was going on with Hades all the time, and figure out why we were targeted, and figure out, you know, everything he was able to figure out so easily. Because he installed the back door into the network, and he had direct access to everything Hades was doing as far as issuing commands. And so he said, we have so much to discuss. He has so much to reveal. And he said, like, you know, for instance, your masters who woke you. And that's what I've been thinking in my mind is, like, what activated Hades to begin with? Why was it attacking Gaia? You know, because, like I said, as far as I'm concerned, Hades doesn't seem to be Hades may be fully autonomous to an extent, but Hades is not... I shouldn't say fully autonomous. Hades is autonomous to an extent. So Hades still seems to be like a program executing a function to me from what we've seen. It's doing its job. But what awoke it? You know, is Hades actually a true artificial intelligence? You know, that part, like I said, I feel like it feels more like a program than an artificial intelligence. Just a program, not like the whole genetic coding thing where it can alter itself, kind of thing, and has its own persona. Because artificial intelligence kind of comes in. I'm probably simplifying this a little too much, but two forms I think of. There's the code, the machine that uses that's using its code versus like an artificial person type of situation that you get from like Detroit Become Human or Nier Automata, or you know, stories on Fallout's actually a good one, Fallout 4. You know, those are good examples of where I think there's, you know, that's also an artificial intelligence kind of situation. This is just a little different because it's in a metal body. Excuse me. A metal body that we can easily discern is not human. To clarify on that, because if you think about some of the artificial intelligence stories out there, one of my favorites is Person of Interest, which started as a drama series that had a very serial story to it, and had in some ways like kind of a episode of the week kind of feel to it, like you get with a lot of modern TV shows. But that serial story of it kind of morphed into this really amazing science fiction story, and they really focused on the story and not as much on the episode of the week kind of thing, which I really loved about that show. And a big part of it was artificial intelligence. That was one of the main things in the show, and I think the thing that really started the show was surveillance, and then it led into the artificial intelligence later, which I thought was really cool. Because they did bring that up pretty early on in the series as far as the seasons go. There's 5 seasons. And I think they bring up the artificial intelligence part of it either at the end of the first season or early in the second season. I can't remember exactly. But it's not like it's a foreign concept on the show that's what it was focusing on. But initially it focuses a lot more on surveillance than it does on artificial intelligence, and later it becomes much more about the artificial intelligence. And I love that story. And it's not a person, You know, it's literally a machine that's changing its own code to serve its own purposes for what it exists to do. And so that to me is kind of what I'm saying, like that versus like something that's walking around and talking and acting like a person, rather than something that's literally hooked into everything, kind of artificial intelligence. And so like that's where I'm still unsure on where Hades fits there. To me, it seems like a program executing a function, but maybe there's more to that. But then Silence brings up the question that I've been asking and I brought up earlier, which is what activated it? Hades isn't supposed to become active just for no reason. And that's where I kind of went back to the idea that maybe Ted Farrow was the one who set it in motion, because he literally killed everybody at the Prime facility, at the Alpha Prime or Gaia Prime facility. Sorry, he killed all the Alphas at that facility. So I guess I'm not sure on that. And that maybe the way they close this off, that makes me think maybe this will come up in Forbidden West, or maybe there will be another game that will bring that up. And I don't know, because I've not played Forbidden West yet, and I can't wait to play it for that reason, because I absolutely loved the story in this. I loved what the questions it brought up. I loved the way it kind of went and played out. And there's times in it where like it feels like you don't get much information, especially when you get to like the point when you start learning about the atmosphere collapsing and all that, and you're like, what happened? Like, they don't feed much information to you initially on that. And so the story feels like they kind of string you along in some parts. And they kind of do, and I think it's kind of on purpose, because it makes you want more. It makes you want to learn more, and really kind of pushes the story forward, at least it did for me. And I kind of did I tried to avoid doing my typical, open world game, get so hooked on the story that you don't do any of the side stuff. I tried to do the side stuff in this game, and I did miss some things, but I did most of the side stuff in my first playthrough. And now this is my third, and I'm still doing the side stuff, but not as much this time, of course, because I didn't do all the collectibles this time. But this is one of those games where I'm trying not to feed too much into the story, because I do want to see what else is out in this world, because this world is amazingly beautiful, and the idea that we're not hunting wildlife or just fighting people, we're fighting machines that look like wild animals, I thought was just like the coolest idea ever, and I absolutely love that, and that's what really made me want to play this game initially before I got it. And I still think back to when I first played it, I really wasn't in the mood to play it, but I popped it in, played it a couple times, and I really got hooked on it really fast, and I was like, you know what, it didn't matter how I felt, as soon as I started playing it, everything fell into place for me. And I ended up finding things to like about it. So, lots of questions answered in the game. I don't think they left a lot of stuff too open. But then there's some things, like I said, what activated Hades is my big question. Where are we going to go with Forbidden West is my other question. I don't want an answer to that right now. I want to play the game and figure it out for myself. But that's what I'm looking forward to going into the next game. The only thing I know about it is that you play as Aloy. I'm hoping that might answer some questions. Maybe it'll bring up a whole different story that I'm not even thinking of. Who knows? They've mentioned the Forbidden West. I don't really know what that means, but I don't know what the environments are going to be like. The thing I'm most excited for there at this point, just because I don't know much about it, is new machines. I'm really excited to see what kind of new machines are going to be in it. I'm excited to see where Aloy goes from here, because she's finished her goal of what she was basically made for, which was making sure Gaia. I guess Gaia's out of the picture right now, technically. Making sure that Gaia's objective was completed, that Hades was taken out of the picture. And even though technically Hades is not out of the picture, I'm hoping that Silence is not going to end up being just like a villain. To me, he doesn't strike me as a villain, where I could see him being one or coming up as one to people, but I'm hoping he doesn't become the villain in the next game or something like that, because I'm like, he's a cool character, and I like the fact that he's very cold and calculated, and that he's not your typical character in this, because you run across people that are a-holes, you run across people that are really nice, you run across all kinds of people, and he's just very selfish, and I like that about him. I think that makes him really very real character, and like I say that I feel like I can see things the way he does a lot of times, although I do think he's very cold and just not what a person needs when they're going through the stuff that Ayla's going through. He's just definitely not the person that she should be really talking to, but maybe at the same time maybe that is what she should be talking to, somebody like that. Maybe that's kind of what helped spur things along to some extent. But they both needed each other to some extent. Like, technically, I guess she didn't need him, but, they definitely helped each other out along the way. And in the end, I think he kind of finally let his real, he was never, like, hiding stuff about himself necessarily. He would answer her questions, but he kind of filled her in on everything and admitted to a lot of stuff that wasn't really good. Like, it was pretty bad stuff. And then he openly said, I would do it all over again in a pinch. I'm like, I'd change a few things just to make sure, things worked out the way I wanted them to. But he's like, I would do it again. He has, like, no remorse. And I kind of like that he said that in the end, because I'm like, I felt like him coming around too much would make him less of the character he was presented as. So going forward in the series, I'm kind of curious. I'm curious to see if they'll answer any questions. I'm curious to see where the next game is going to go. I'm really looking forward to new machines. Those are kind of the main things, going towards Forbidden West. I'm not done with this game entirely. I am going to play the Frozen Wilds. I'm anticipating at least 2 streams to play it, but we'll see how that goes. I know Frozen Wilds was pretty freaking hard when I played it myself the first time. And I don't know if I don't know how much I want to play it again. Like, I don't know if I want to do all the side stuff. I know there's a tall neck, and I want to do the tall neck, but otherwise I might just stick to storyline this time. There's a few other side questies in there that might be worth checking out too, but I don't want to put too much time into it. I want to basically get the story from it and kind of see how that goes. So I just remember it being really hard, though. There's some new machines there they're pretty challenging if my memory serves correct, and I'm playing it ultra hard now, and I can't change it. So unless I go New Game Plus again, which I don't want to do. And my trophies did pop up, in case anybody's curious. They did pop up there, because I mentioned I was going for 2 last trophies, and they popped up pretty much right after the scene with Silence. So, I kind of put out most of my other ending thoughts, and just kind of collecting some of the game thoughts over the game and what we did today in the credits. So, I just wanted to add that little additional bit here because of that last scene with Silence, and kind of just mention at least Forbidden West a little bit, because that's what comes next in the overall series. The Horizon series, as I call it. I don't know if that's what they're referring to it as, because they would both just start with that same name. That's it. That's the only thing that really links them title-wise. So thanks everyone for joining. I know it was a late stream because I had other plans today. Thank you. I think who was all here today? Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Michael, Corey, Firebird. Thanks for joining. Like I said, this is the end of the main story, but we will pick up probably on Wednesday with the DLC, the Frozen Wilds, and see how long that takes us, or where we go with it. We'll kind of see how that plays out as we do it, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do next later on. So, thanks for joining, and I'll see you then.